What's up guys, Petko here. Today we're gonna bring on one of the most anticipated videos for a long time now. After more than 500 hours on beta, we are 7 days away from the expansion, and with this, my top 3 range pick for the season, or at least early on until things gonna change. If you guys have already seen this video, or I guess the spreadsheet, I cover a lot of those picks and classes. I play most of them myself every day on stream. And every Saturday we update this spreadsheet live on stream. I upload highlights on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you guys are interested, you can check out the previous videos. But for today, we're talking only about top 3 plus memorable experience. Well, again, we're primarily focusing on powers. What is strong, single target, AoE, utility, the defensiveness, how fun they are to play, and how easy they are to play. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's begin. Alright, so the first thing first, I would say the number 1 range that I consider kind of a safe pick right now. Well, again, nothing is safe anyway, but for me personally, if you're looking to play a range and you're uncertain what to play and you don't know, if something's gonna get nerfed or buff, Mage currently is, in my opinion, the safest of the safest pick that you can have. Again, there's no certainty, but for now speaking, Arcane and Frost Mage are taking the cake in my opinion. Why is that? First of all, both have incredibly good damage profile. Now, in comparison to Frost, I would say Arcane is a little bit more bursty, more cooldown orientated. Frost has better sustained damage. So this can go either way. In some keys, you might want to play Frost. In some keys, you might want to play Fire. This would really depend, for example, on the comp. It would depend on a key level. It depends on a different dungeon. A lot of variables go into this conversation, but it is safe to say those 2 picks are incredibly good. Also, they combine the best with the quote-unquote god comp, so aka Augmentation Evoker, Arcane plus Frost Mage, or Arcane or Frost Mage, and Vengeance the Age together pretty much make the god comp. They sync the best with any other caster as well. Hence why I believe Mage will be a top pick this season once again, unless something cataclysmic happens with him. To add on behalf of the Mage, the utility is one of the best in Mythic Plus. If you guys have already seen it, Arcane Intellect, Mass Barrier, which is pretty much a shield to the entire party. They have very good mob control like Dragon Breath, Blasting Wave, right, or Blast Wave, another interrupt as well. So genuinely very strong toolkit for Mythic Plus, one of the best in my opinion, and are also considered one of the most durable DPS picks in the game, with several defensiveness to tackle any situation. That being the case, Alter Time, Personal Shield, Mass Barrier also can count towards it. Mirror Images can count as a DR as well. And obviously you measure cooldown. If you play Frost, you have a second measure cooldown, or I guess reset on your measure cooldown, which could be either Ice Block, which is a pure immunity, or the other version that just gives you a massive DR instead of like a big and Ice Block, right? I'm talking about Cold Snap reset on Frost Mage, but for the people that are new here and they don't know, yeah, we're talking about Cold Snap. So that's about all the mages. Playstyle, Frost Mage is extremely easy, one of the easiest classes to play in the game. So new players might find it quite enjoyable. Arcane is a little bit harder. You gotta juggle between cooldowns. You gotta really understand where and how to place your cooldowns. A lot higher ceiling to min-max, so much harder than Frost. In terms of easy to play, once again, Frost Mage infinitely easier than Arcane Mage. So yeah, TLDR, Frost is my number 1 pick. Alright, so second pick, and this could be quite controversial so far. I do believe Shadow Priest will be next in line. Even though Shadow Priest might not do the most damage right now after the most recent buffs done to the spec, I do believe you are currently one of the better ranges for Mythic Plus. The reason why I'm choosing here Shadow Priest is, even though you might not be top DPS, stamina buff is incredibly useful for the whole party. PI can also bring you damage even harder. It can also supplement the playstyle on behalf of your mage or any other caster you paired with. Again, PI, Mindsuit, stamina buff, all those 3 are valuable. Disease Dispel, Mass Dispel, incredibly valuable this season as well. Very strong burst damage oriented profile, good sustain, especially if you do play Archon every minute. So yeah, generally one of the better classes for high keys. Mid-level keys is also going to be incredible. Low-level keys you might struggle, especially when mobs die too quick for your burst. Overall, an amazing pickup. Again, on behalf of defensiveness, nothing really major has changed. If you do play Archon, I believe you get 5% more stamina on top of it. You know, there's a talent on your general tree that gives you 2% DR. Slightly bigger range you have on your offensive spells. So defensive hasn't really changed so much. Utility-wise, I would say, again, same thing. Playstyle and fun, nothing really majorly has changed in the rotation, I must say. And also one of the hardest picks to play just because of a lot of buttons they're glowing at the same time, so you might want to prio some, and it's most definitely a hard to juggle, especially talking about Pandemic, more than 8 mobs, for example, knowing when to Vampiric Touch and then Shadow Crush. Min-maxing that could be an issue, but overall I do believe they are one of the better picks of the season. Number 3, that's gonna be spicy. I do believe Elie Shaman currently is a number 3 or number 2 contestant. I do believe if you're playing in a full puck, you don't talk about pre-mating. Elie Shaman can do more damage than Arcane, Frost, and Shadow Priest, 100%. But again, this could be a shared between Elie Shaman and Shadow Priest for the second spot. I chose Shadow Priest here just because of the PI and Mindsuit and everything else, but Elie Shaman is just as good, if not better. Single target could be an issue on Elie Shaman in some cases, but AoE is absolutely fantastic after the most recent changes done last week. Now remember, defensive profile got much better. You've got better utility now. You have a poison spell, curse spell, right? A better defensiveness like Astral Shift, Stone Bulwark Totem, extra DR from Season Winds Interrupting, you know. So all of those can help you become a better contestant for the quote-unquote caster meta. Very excited to play Elie Shaman myself. Playstyle and fun is one of the easiest, just like Frost Mage casters in a game. Single target could be problematic in some cases from rotation point of view, not just pure damage. So I do believe people might find it a bit difficult there. But overall, one of the most welcoming specs so far for Mythic Plus, and it's good everywhere. Low keys, high keys, mid keys. Incredible. Keep one thing in mind. We have now something called Sky Fury, which is a Hardy White / Raid White buff. Pretty much gives you a 2% mastery to each member, plus Wind Fury to the entire party. If it's caster meta, that Wind Fury doesn't matter, but the extra mastery on top, especially with Augmentation Evoker, you know, it is absolutely brilliant on top of that. So in my opinion here, one of the better casters, if not second best caster, depending on key levels. Now, one honorable mention here, 4th place, or I guess it could go either way, Affliction and Demonology Lock. Honestly, Affliction became from one of the worst specs in the game for a long time to one of the better ones right now. Affliction Lock is most definitely one of the most fun specs to play, and this is going to be likely one of my ults starting the expansion. Incredible fun playstyle. You don't spam seeds anymore. Now you juggle Malefic Rupture, you juggle dots with Valtane, Corruption or Wither, etc. So it has a nice element of like visual effects and strength and nice burst every 1 minute, 2 minutes. So genuinely speaking, has improved throughout the beta cycles, and it's currently one of the most fun specs to play. The issue I'm having here with Affliction is just 2. First thing, Valtane is unsynced with your Agony, so your Agony expires way before Valtane is ready. So in a Master AoE situation, you struggle to maintain Agony. So you have to either reapply them themselves or let it expire, have only Wither or a Corruption dot on them. So they could fix that by either reducing the cooldown of Valtane or genuinely extending the duration of Agony. Something like this. Shadow Crush on Shadow Priest works way better than Valtane. Maybe replicating that could not be an issue, you know, could be a massive thing. And last, Demonology Lock, all around great spec to have. Good burst damage, good sustain damage, good single target, very, very tanky spec to have. I think they're very close in performance to Affliction Lock. In my opinion, much less fun than Affli right now, especially after the Affliction rework. But as a very solid contender currently. They don't bring any party buffs, but again, Hellstones, Curses, Demonic Gates, right? So all of this can have an influence in the Mythic Plus. That's about the chat. I mean, there's a few more, memorable mentions here. If things will get a bit more changes, like for example, if Booming gets a bit more single target, then that would be fantastic. Currently, they aren't. Destro got nerfed quite heavily, so right now, kind of a meh. Fire Mage is one of the worst specs in the game, so I don't want to talk about Fire Mage. I don't want to mention augmentation because everybody jumps on augmentation, so nah. No augmentation, because I don't consider that DPS. That's kind of support, Anyway, that's everything, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we're doing a top 3 melees. Stay up. Keep watching. Thank you for everything. I'll see you on stream. Peace out.